People who have a lot of money can buy a private plane instead of waiting in the long lines that are usually part of using commercial flights. How though is flying a private plane different from flying a business airline? We will talk about this subject today no matter what. We'll take a look behind the scenes at a private business pilot's busy routine and the many things they have to do. We'll also talk about the expensive training you need to get to be a pilot for a rich person, as well as training itself. When the time comes, we'll know how much money independent pilots make thanks to their experience. When it comes to their work, a commercial airline pilot's responsibility and a private pilot's responsibilities naturally overlap in a lot of ways. One of the most important changes is that a private pilot has more tasks to do than a commercial pilot. In the vast majority of cases, they are the only crew members on board the plane. One thing they have to do is to keep the cabin clean. A star whose name won't be used was seen on a plane with their children. When the kids drew all over walls, they made a big mess. The airplane company sent us a bill for $250,000 in the end of the day, but the CEO of the company and his family had covered the cottage with dirt and odd pizza sauce, so they did not want to pay a second time. As a result, it cost $2,100 to clean everything. Private pilots are expected to talk to their passengers more than what happens when an airline pilot makes a statement over the intercom. The pilots will lock the cockpit door and block anyone who isn't on the team from getting in. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button and the notification bell to stay updated on our daily videos. Private pilots are expected to make their guests feel welcome, so they need to have excellent customer service skills. The pilots also have to give safety instructions and put any cargo away. On a private plane, where the cockpit is either not there or is not close, the cabin staff can expect their customers to talk to them while the plane is moving. In most private planes, there are two pilots, the captain and the co-pilot. Some planes, on the other hand, can be flown by just one pilot before the guests arrive. The pilot is expected to get to the airport an hour before the plane leaves. They are in charge of a lot of different things, like cooking up the fuel, finishing the flight plan, planning the food, and a lot more. Customers plan to leave as soon as they finish checking in. Private pilots are supposed to be ready to take off at any time, which means they might have to fly on holidays like Christmas. Since most of their clients fly on their own planes, it's possible that they live close to the airport. Even though they can work up to 14 hours a day, private pilots are said to find the environment of their jobs to be less formal and more laid back than when they work for airlines. It will cost you a lot of money to rent a private plane for your own use. Chartering a jet can cost anywhere from $1,200 to $10,000 per hour, but the price can go much higher. A private jet can cost anywhere from $2 million to $100 million, with the average cost being somewhere in the middle. A Bombardier Global 5000 plane could cost as much as $22 million in 2020. Even though the extra cost could make their financial problems even worse, Paul Gilibelli, who helps clients buy plans, said that his clients spent a total of $200 million in just 1 month. The cost to run a luxury flight for a year is usually between $500,000 and $1 million, but it can cost between $2,000 and $3,000 to fix a flat tire on an airplane. Training and certification are two of the most important parts of a pilot's job. When the accident happened in 2017, Arnold Gerald Lido III, a private pilot, had been taking people on flights without the right paperwork for 2 years. He got 10 months in federal jail and had to pay $5,500 fine. Many people who want to be pilots first join the Air Force, where they can get all of the necessary training certifications and a bachelor's degree before going to work in a private aviation business. This is because training can be very expensive. People who don't want to learn to fly in the military are most likely to go to flight school. You can choose from a wide range of schools that offer different classes to become a kind of pilot you want to be. Before we start school though, we'll focus on becoming a corporate private pilot. Others require that people who want to be pilots to go on inductory flight school, which can cost up to $250 in the US, and then get a medical license that has been approved by the FAA. Others want pilots to pass both a speaking and written test. People are strongly urged to get a student pilot certificate even if they don't need one. This is because the certificate can be bought for less than $200. After that, you can turn away from the pool of flying school. Before they can become a professional pilot, they need to have flown for a total of 250 hours. People who want to become professional pilot can choose between two different all-inclusive packages from the ATP flight school. One job path to think about first is becoming a pilot for an airline. The cost of the 9-month course is $83,995, and the cost of the 100-plus hour multi-engine training program is another $93,995. Examiner fees for some tests, like the most important FAA license exam, were not included in the total and can add an extra $8,200 to the cost. Both of these schools have training programs for getting a license to fly an airline transport. You need this certification to work as a pilot in the aviation business. Some figures say that the total cost of all classes and lessons could be anywhere from $25,000 to over $100,000. If you don't go to flight school often, it could take you a long time to get to the hours you need. It's likely that prices in Europe will be the same as those in Britain. Pilots who work for private companies say that the first training could cost as much as $111,000 or almost £80,000. Courses can cost up to £35,000 more, which is almost $49,000. By doing this, you can describe the kind of plan you want, but they don't get paid a set rate. Instead, they get paid by the hour, and the most of them fly up to 150 hours per month. In the US, corporate pilots can make up to $80,000 per year, while Gulfstream G50 pilots are said to make up to $198,000 per year. The United States Bureau of Labor Statistics has written that plane pilots should get a salary every year. In the United States, their early pay can be anywhere from $140,000 to $260,000. This is because they have to log up 240 hours of flight time each month. In May of 2020, a private commercial pilot could expect to make an average of $93,300 per year. The bottom 10% of earners made less than $47,570, while the top 10% made at least $200,920. They think that private pilots will have a 9% more chances between 2019 and 2029. In France, a co-pilot for an airplane can make anywhere from 4,000 euros to 11,000 euros, $4,800 to $13,000 each month. This means an annual salary of between 48,000 euros and 132,000 euros, or between $58,000 and $159,000. On the other hand, a captain can make up to $22,000 per month, which is the same as 222 euros or $268,000. The captain of a private business plane can make anywhere from 60,000 to 100,000 pounds a year, which is between $83,000 and $139,000 in the US. The first officer or co-pilot makes between £25,000 or $35,000 a year. After 500 hours in the air, a pilot is qualified for a raise in pay. Most people think that flying an Air Force One for the President of the United States is one of the most prestigious non-commercial flying jobs. To reach this goal, you must first be a pilot in the US military who is part of the 89th Airlift Wing. Also, most pilots have the rank of colonel, which usually takes 22 years to get, but their pay doesn't go up because of this, even though they have more experience and are under more stress because they have to drive the president. Instead, the pilot will get a regular colonel salary, which is expected to be between $83,174 and $147,244 in 2020. Another interesting fact is that the EHang 216, which is also called the robotic aerial vehicle, is one of the most expensive drones. This electric-powered unmanned car was made to work as an air taxi. The range of the 216 is about 44 miles, and it can carry 2 people for about an hour and a half. Sources say that the whole price will be $336,000. That's it for today. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up below, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We post videos every week, so stay notified. Thanks for tuning in. See you in the following video.